Bitch, look me in the eyes. I'm back, baby.
All-New Side Hustle's back. Next Thursday after an all-new Warped at 7. Only on Nick.
1 week later.
With Danger Force out of the way for a little while, it was so good to be back in the Side Hustle universe for the first time in nearly a while. I think towards the tail end of season 1, right before I abandoned, around the time, that season ended, and then I wasn't absent for the first half of season 2, and that was wow. I mean, I went like Skinner on that Roxy ass. But what I was really going to say was, and the Bill Elliott installment of Warped was really, really good too. So let's get into it. We're going to go in order here. Warped. First of all, that hot sauce eating contest. What the fuck was that shit? I mean, my God, if that were me, whether it's in real, if I was an actor, like being paid to act in the form of, in character form to do that stuff, or if that was real life me, I'd be pussying out no matter what. I wouldn't even, there's no way in hell I'd win a contest like that. I'd be pussying out like 5 seconds in, and I'd be the first one out coming in, as Anthony Anderson would say on To Tell the Truth back when I used to watch the ABC game shows and game shows in general back in the day. I mean, not back in the day, it was only a few years ago, you know what I mean? Butt naked last. That's what I would do. Man, I don't know how Milo handled that shit. And Hurley looked like he was doing good, but then he started to burn up. He was looking for water, but his stupid ass, grabbed another bottle of hot sauce thinking that was water, and he blinded himself. Now, did Chris Martinez really lose his vision? Obviously, no shit, he didn't. But how did he keep his vision after all that? Because if that was fake hot sauce, they did a damn good job making that shit look real. Even if it was fake hot sauce, I'd still be pussying out. But, oh my God. And the fact that, Ruby did the same shit as I would, it explains why Kate Caffrey is one of my ultimate favorite actresses. She pussied out too. That left, that shit talker from the sporting goods store, Carl and Milo left, and looked like Carl won it, but of course, as you know, the good guys always win, even if they have to save the bad guys' lives, where Carl was choking like Chuck Woolery, and Milo had to do the Heimlich maneuver, and that Mike Skinner of, yeah, goddammit, we beat that little son of a bitch, unfortunately, went to waste, because even though Milo won the contest, and the VSR, whatever the fuck that thing was called, Carl still got one from the store anyway, because, he ended up tricking Wilson into giving one to him, and Wilson didn't know that was their arch nemesis from the sporting goods store. So joke's on Wilson more than Carl, if anything. And then we had that gamer girl, the gamer girl got her little gaming device. I always forgot the name of that fucking thing. Jesus Christ, my arm's getting tired. But the gamer girl got her little gaming device that she wanted. And, considering that, I love the fact that, Ruby and Milo thought that Ren would be heartbroken if she didn't get one. But we know we're not going to see those, events that they mentioned about, the kid at school and him clowning her and all that stuff. She actually sold her the one that, the Ruby and Milo tried to give her, our $1,000 worth of Jeremy Mayfield Mountain Dew to that gamer girl, which obviously Wilson saw they did the right thing, but luckily for Ruby and Milo, he didn't see them doing the wrong thing. So even though they felt like it was right in their books to give it to a little girl and not break a kid's heart, which is understandable, but when it comes to you working in a job, whether it's real life or in character on a show, your job's more important than just a little kid. Little kids are important too, but listening to your boss is twice as more important than trying to avoid making a little kid's heart. But they're both important, but listening to your boss at work has the upper hand on, not wanting to break a kid's heart. So it's like maybe a win-win situation, but that was pretty damn good. And that Arnold the Magician guy, played by Josh Ryder, he was Jeremy Mayfielding that shit all around, making all all the stuff in his hand, stuff that he was, making magic with, all Jeremy Mayfield, and I felt so bad for poor Darby. But All in all, that was a good Bill Elliott installment of Warp. Now, the grand return of Side Hustle for the show and to Side Hustle for us. And Kurt Ella's blowing up my phone. He must be the most excited out of all of us that we're back. And hopefully I can get a follow on Twitter and Instagram from Jaden, and also on Instagram from Jules, since Jules doesn't use Twitter much anymore. But man, that was the best way to welcome me back. Not only way to welcome yourselves back from the winter, after, the part of the season I missed, and the end of last season I missed, but it was part of the welcome back, to the show as a whole, and me. I mean, Maria Canales Barrera, why is that the nicest Spanish chick, well, yeah, she's like old, in her 40s or something. I don't fucking know, but she seems really nice. But why is it that the older actresses that I like have to play the bad guys on my favorite shows like Nick and Disney? First, she played Sage's mom back when, on another John B. back in Ron Hart show, Night Squad, where, Sage was the bad guy at first, but then they made her nicer in the long run, which I guess understandable why they didn't bring Sage's mom back, But yeah, now, all these years later, if we fast forward 19, 20, 21, 22, 4 years later, she's playing another bad guy, but this one's even worse than Sage's mom. At least Sage's mom actually had some decency as a personifying character. But this Roxy dude had no heart at all. No, she was the biggest shit talker, and she was getting all cocky and shit, saying, I always win. And I knew that he was going to lose eventually, and I said, for now, you're winning, but I mean, maybe in this universe, prior to the events of this episode, let alone the whole series, you would always win. But now that this series is on camera for the whole world to see, it looks like you're going to have the upper hand for, like, the first half and maybe the middle part. But when it comes to that last half, the good guys are going to swoop in, like they always do in every single show that has these themes as with bad guys. And they're going to bitch slap your evil plans and just, go Mike Skinner on that ass. And that's what I got to do. So the first Mike Skinner on Warp went to waste. But the second one came in handy, where the song saved, Uncle Nedward's Mountain, and we knew that, and even the construction workers are working for Roxy were singing, and they joined, Presley and Lex's side. I know when Roxy saw that she finally lost and she stormed out in, in defeat, I just screamed at the top of my lungs, which is what which was the dagger to hurting my throat. I said, yeah, god damn it, we beat that little son of a bitch, which is basically known as doing the Mike Skinner. Yeah, so I thought I'd sneak in that clip for shits and giggles just to show you guys, especially the folks at Nickelodeon, what I mean by it, what that means. So that you're not asking me, Mark, what the hell is the Mike Skinner? What the fuck does that mean? But I'm just glad that Side Hustle's back, and we're back in the Side Hustle and to finish out the second season. Now keep in mind that 2021-2022 television season's almost over, so we don't have much of a ways to go. Later on tonight, we got the Johnny Benson installment of Pivoting, which is the season 1 finale. Next week, the Greg Biffle installment of Goldberg, airs, along with the Ryan Newman installment of A Million Little Things. And then we got the Johnny Benson installment of Warped, our second episode back to Side Hustle. And then next week, the Dale Jr. installment on Tuesday of Promised Land. We're getting Promised Land Season 1 is almost done. Pivoting Season 1 is done after tonight. I do not want this television season to end. It's not been as brutal at the end of last year's. And it wasn't as brutal as most of the years past. Post-Lab Rats, 17-8. Did we watch anything in 17-18? No, middle of 17-18 we started, but 18-19 was brutal as fuck, but somehow we made it through unscathed. 2019-2020 was going a whole lot better and smoother, but then COVID made it a weird ending, considering that, that since the whole world shut down, all the production to finish out those seasons in television ended up getting cut short, and some of those finales ended up getting moved to the new season, to make up for the episode count. But luckily, A Million Little Things was lucky to finish their season way before the pandemic, meaning the episode we saw where Eddie got hit by by that Nicole lady that we later saw this season, or was it last season? I think it was this season. I could be mistaken, but no, I think it was this season. Yeah, I think it was this season. It was 2 seasons ago. That was the last one they filmed before COVID happened. So therefore, don't forget that because of that, the 2021 last television season was a weird one. It started in November, December instead. And we didn't get a true mid-season break. We didn't get a true mid-season finale of most of the shows that were on the air. We didn't get none of that. We got a split-second Christmas break from the shows. Because Million Little Things started so late last year, which means the season, some of the shows ended earlier than they should have. Like American Housewife ended their season and their run way earlier than they usually do. Mixed-ish ended their season and their run way earlier than they usually do when they end seasons, considering that last season was all wadded up. It was all jacked up because of, the COVID, fucking up the end of the previous season. And then A Million Little Things, ended their third season way later than they usually end their seasons, like they did in seasons 1 and 2. So, I don't know when the Goldbergs ended really late too, but all these shows we abandoned because the schedule was getting brutal and I couldn't take no more of it. Plus the warm weather was calling my name as we got warmed here in Northeast Ohio last year way earlier than we normally expect. So, therefore, but this season has been totally different. It's probably the first smooth season we've gotten in a very long time. We've been managing a schedule properly and feels pretty damn good. Whenever there's a Spurs game, but yet there's a show on, we watch the show instead because the shows we watch now make me more happier than the Spurs these days. But Danger Force possibly will be back in the summer. Side Hustle and Ward will probably continue airing episodes all summer because unlike the ABC, CBS, and Fox, Nickelodeon Disney Channel airs episodes all year long. And keep in mind, what's the new show at Taylor Ortega called that starts next week that we're actually going to start watching? Let me check it out like Kevin LePage. So yes, Flatch is the newest show we're adding to our schedule to show our continued support for Taylor Ortega from the Kim Possible movie 3 years ago from my Jerry Nadeau, Joe Nemechek 25th birthday, which of course is the series premiere, but also of course it's going to be like every other series premiere and season premiere of every show we watch. It's going to be the Steve Park installment. So tomorrow, this is my last fucking resort. I am going to try to sneak over to the SSA building, all courtesy of my mom or my own SSA, Jason, if my mom's unable to do it. And so maybe I can have my mom call Jason, and maybe one of those two can sneak us over to SSA sometime tomorrow. We can say goodbye to Megan, so I can bring you guys a video. I'm probably not going to dance to Ricky Martin we're not going to dance to Ricky Martin like we originally planned. Basically, the only thing I'm going to have time to do is, give her an interview. I'm not making any promises that it's going to happen. I'm going to try my best. This is my last chance. Tomorrow's your last day, and I wouldn't miss it for the world. I will repack my mic. I will slap back on my Fiesta Tim Duncan outfit just in case I'm able to go over there. And if you're able to go over there, you will be seeing it combined with Marco and Dom Farrago's combined birthday celebration. So I will see you all later. For the rest of you, for the Nickelodeon folks, I will see you all next week for our second Side Hustle episode back for the show and us, and Johnny Benson installment of Warped. And for the rest of you, see you on let me check the time. Not long before the Johnny Benson installment season finale of Pivoting starts, so I'll see you all in a few minutes for that. Oh yeah, let's not forget, just a reminder, this summer, along with Season 2 of Fun in the Sun, we got Season 6 of Bunked coming up, which is going to be my second full season with this show. We got the world premieres of Meet the Mayhems, created by my old school buddies from Livin' La Vida Lab Rats, Chris Peterson and Brian Moore, and of course we got, the new Latino Disney show, Ultraviolet and Black Scorpion, starring ex-Bunked star Scarlett Estevez, just to show my support for her over there. So this summer, probably along with, some more Danger Force, Warped, and Side Hustle, we're going to have a busy summer. So catch y'all later on tonight for the Johnny Benson installment and the Season 1 finale of Pivoting on Fox.